Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by here today. So I just want to start off the video by saying that normally my channel here, my little space on YouTube, is a gardening channel. I love sharing educational gardening content, sometimes home DIY stuff, but I'm also, this year for 2024, I'm sharing my plastics journey with you guys because throughout the 15 to 20 years that I've been wanting to have plastic surgery to remove my excess skin, I watched a ton of people on YouTube. Content was so inspirational and educational for me that I wanted to share my journey as well. And I'm so glad that I decided to do that like in advance, because what I have found is that my journey is nothing like the ones I've seen online. So, in case this is the first video that you're seeing with me, hi, my name is Elizabeth. I live in Arkansas. I'm 39 years old. I had the lap band weight loss surgery in 2010. I lost 130 pounds slowly over 12 to 14 years. I've had excess skin that whole time. And the majority of my weight gain was from gaining 90 pounds when I was 21, pregnant with my second son. And then that stayed with me for many reasons. Depression, obviously, low self-esteem, whatever. I've had the majority, 100 to 130 pounds off and kept off over all these years. And so in March of 2024, I had a tummy tuck, let me just say, I had skin removal on my stomach. They call it a tummy tuck, but it was an extended tummy tuck. So my scar goes all the way around to the side of my hips. Almost to my back, actually. Muscle repair for my abdominal wall, inner thigh lift, an extended inner thigh lift, so like the longest incisions that they do, and liposuction. So I had a lot done. So I went in and intended to have a tummy tuck and a thigh lift. And the other things just kind of went with it and were necessary for the best results. However, that is a lot of trauma to put your body through. So the recovery process was way more intense than I thought it would be. That's why I'm filming this video today, because I wanted to share with you guys now that I'm almost 2 months post-op. I want to share just what I wish I would have known. Because I did so much research, you guys, like so much. I follow so many people on Instagram, YouTube, who've had similar things done. But the thing is most people I follow have just had tummy tucks, or they've had tummy tuck and lipo, or tummy tuck and muscle repair, which the muscle repair makes the tummy tuck, again, more severe. So there's just varying levels of it, because you can go in and just have a tummy tuck and your incision can be this wide and you not need muscle repair. And that would be so much easier to get over than what I have had done, because I just kind of stacked things on top of things and we did a lot at once. And I have no regrets about that whatsoever. I just wish I had been more mentally prepared. So let's just jump into the list of the things that I wish I would have known. One of these things is like not super important, so I'm going to mention it later in the video, but it is so weird. It's like the weirdest thing ever. So the first thing I wish I would have known is that swelling is extensive and it's going to stay with you for a while, and it's very annoying. I always wondered, it was actually even kind of annoyed when I would watch videos and people would be showing their incision or their stomach or whatever. And like every time they showed it, they would say, I'm still swollen. I'm still swollen. I'm still swollen. Like you would hear that all the time. And I thought, why are they harping on that so much? And now I know why. Because we're trying to mentally adjust to the fact that a part of our body has been cut off and is no longer there. But we are so swollen that it kind of looks like it's still there. So you've gone through this experience. You're in pain or not, depending on your pain management level. And you're so swollen that you don't see any results, like at all. And so it's frustrating because it's a head game. For me, the recovery has been 90% head game, like self-torture, self-doubt, questioning, whatever. So that kind of plays into another thing I wish I would have known, and that is that you really need to prepare yourself. You need to be mentally fit to prepare yourself for your recovery. Your recovery process is a journey in itself. The weight loss journey and the having the surgery journey and whatever, but like the recovery in itself, this is a whole phase of your life that you'll never do again. This is, even if you have plastic surgery again in the future, this one time, this surgery in this moment You will never do this again. And it is so crucial to focus on your health, your mental health, in your recovery process, because it's hard. It is so hard. All the things you're going through, all the things you're thinking of. If you're like me and you're really fiercely independent, having to rely on someone, not being able to wipe yourself, not being able to reach your feet, not being able to, like walk outside and check the mail. Like, there's just so many things you can't do the first week, and then you can gradually do more. So you need to be able to remind yourself and be patient with yourself, be your own cheerleader in case you don't have that support network around you. And hopefully you do. Hopefully you have a great support group and people are reminding you, like my family was, to be patient, give myself grace, and just take my time and whatever. For me, because I'm self-employed, I've run my own business for 7 years now. I work from home. I've worked remote for over 12 years. So for me, I kind of expected, since I had a desk job, I could slide back into work sooner than other people having had the surgery who I've seen online, who had to go back to work. They had to be able to drive. They had to be able to go and work with people and all that. And I thought, I can be in my faja, I can be in my PJs and go sit at my desk and get, half a day's worth of work done. No, like week 1, I focused on my recovery and allowed myself nothing to do. Cleared my calendar, only did self-care, slept a lot, made sure I was hydrated, high protein, whatever. Week 2 is when I thought I would ease back into work and couldn't. I tried. I literally kind of got myself ready for the day and went and sat at my desk. And within like an hour, it was painful to be sitting at my desk. It hurt my feet because my legs were so swollen that I could not sit in that sort of position. I needed to keep my feet up. And so I was like, well, maybe I just did this too soon. And I waited a few days and then I tried it again. My point is merely this. I am a really determined individual. I'm a workaholic. I'm productive. I'm addicted to production and just being a productive person. I don't like being lazy. It's hard for me to rest and relax. I had so much work done. My swelling was so intensive. Now, I had hardly any pain. Let me just say that, because a lot of people say it's really, really bad. My pain management was great. I took the pain pills like my doctor told me to until I think day 7 or 8, weaned off to ibuprofen. And so there were just moments where I was like, like when you go to get up and you move and you flex and something, whatever. But I wasn't like laying and wallowing in pain ever. So that's a perk. So some people do have that experience. I didn't. So that's why I say the most frustrating part is the head games, the things you can and can't do. And when am I going to feel better? When are my knees not going to be swollen? When am I going to no longer have cankles? When am I going to be able to walk normal again? And just all these things that so it really is a huge head game. You need to be mentally fit. You need to be able to remind yourself to be patient and be flexible with yourself. If you try to do something and you can't do it, say, that's okay. I'll try it again tomorrow. Don't beat yourself up about it. And I need to take my own advice there, because I definitely struggle with that. And that's why I know it's a really important thing in the recovery process. And I wish I would have just prepared and said, okay, instead of clearing my calendar for a week, I'm going to clear it for 3 weeks and just, whatever. But because I only cleared it for a week, I had actual commitments during my week 2 recovery for work that I had to do. Meetings I had to take, conference calls I had to be on, because I had not cleared my schedule for week 2. And so there were several times where I was on the phone with clients or my team and I was frustrated and I did not want to be there. Like, it was just really difficult and mentally was not ready to be there. And so that's one thing I want to say is give yourself more time. Let's just say that's another tip number 3. Give yourself more time than you think it's going to actually take for you to recover. And I mention this because I am in a support group on Facebook called Plastics After Weight Loss Surgery. And someone commented on there not too long ago and they said their surgery was booked. I don't know what kind of surgery it was. I think it was just a tummy tuck. And she said her surgery was booked and she was wondering from all of the people who've had the surgery before, how much time did we recommend that she took off from going into work? Like, just literally staying home and recovering. So many people, the comments were full of people saying 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. And I'm like, holy cow. I don't know if I just never heard people talk about the expectation on the timeline there or what. But I do know I did ask my doctor about it. Like just immediately in my pre-op visit, I said, I work from home, I have a desk job. What can I expect timeline wise? And he said week 2. So, I mean, he did support my delusion. He's also like super duper optimistic, which is one thing I love about him. He's very, wonderful. And if you're local or in or near Arkansas and you want a fabulous but affordable doctor, my doctor was Dr. Newman in Mountain Home, Arkansas, and I will list his information below because everybody always asks me. He's wonderful. I already know like 5 friends who have gone to see him or scheduled consultations since my surgery. I guess just because I'm openly sharing my journey, and so people are encouraged to go see if they want to start theirs. Anyways, I highly recommend him and his staff. His nurses are all amazing. Love them. So yeah. So he was like, yeah, you could, ease back into a week 2. But anyway. Okay. So next thing I wish I would have known is you have a mucus plug after surgery. I literally heard this mentioned for the first time ever, like a few days after my surgery, after I had experienced it. And I thought, oh my God, that makes perfect sense. So let me just be the one to warn you now so you can be prepared. I think it's because they do like the tube down your throat while you're under for surgery. But you basically, you come out of surgery the first couple of days, and you can't take a full breath. That's partly because of like the tummy tuck, the muscle repair. You might be in a binder, you might not. I wasn't in a binder. There's a few reasons for that. But another reason is because you were intubated or whatever. You have a mucus plug. So comment below, have you ever heard of this? Because I sure hadn't. But basically it has to do with from being under and from surgery. And so within a few days after surgery, you will eventually clear the mucus plug, I guess, from your lungs. And so I don't even know like all the details, but I can tell you what I experienced. It was like day 3 or 4. I started having the tiniest tickly little cough, like, like just real little. But when you're that early post-op and all your stuff, is sore and stuff, you don't want to cough. You don't want to sneeze. You're terrified to sneeze. I was legit terrified to sneeze. And I have really bad allergies. So, it started out day 3 or 4 and it just kind of hung with me that day. And it was just a little bitty cough. And then the next day, it actually began to feel like there was something there and I couldn't cough it up because I didn't want to cough hard. So I was still coughing like just a little bit. But instead of there being any sort of relief, it just felt like there was still something there. Finally, the next day, like day 5. So this drug on for 3 days for me. But again, it was very minor. It wasn't all the time. It was just random. But it stood out to me because I never cough. I'm an ex-smoker, but I quit smoking a long time ago. And I just like hardly ever or never coughed. So like it was weird to me. And plus it hurt. It would hurt my my abdominal area. Even though I was on pain meds. And at that point I was laying around hardly doing nothing. But it just flexing the abs like that, unpleasant. So finally on that day 5, it was like, I don't know, I think one evening when I was up in the middle of the night to take pain medicine or something. But I was getting like that hacky cough and I did not want to like put a lot of pressure behind it to really like cough it up. And then it was uncontrollable and I finally did. And it was like a hacky cough and like it was, and like phlegm came up and stuff. And there was immediately relief, but my abdominal muscles, y'all, that freaking hurt. Like, it hurt for like 2 seconds. So obviously, like, I didn't die or anything. But I mean, like, it was like, oh my God, ow. Like, okay now. Like, you're just, you know it's going to hurt because the little coughs had been hurting a little bit. So like a big productive cough. And it was just one cough, hurt like hell. And the mucus plug, whatever it was gone. Never coughed again. So the next day I saw an Instagram reel of someone talking about a mucus plug and I'm like, oh my God, that's what that was. So now you know. Another thing I wish I would have known, which apparently is common, I was following several women on Instagram who had plastic surgery literally the same day as me. We had different surgeries. I don't know these people. I just wonderfully, what a blessing, found them on Instagram. Literally, I think right after my surgery. And I was like, wow, they just had surgery too. So because all of this obviously was brand new to me, I would make sure and check out their pages like every day. And one of the women had 2 major plastic surgeries before, and the one she had on the day that I had mine was 2 small revisions. So she had a thigh lift revision and tummy tuck revision. So much more minor surgery than me, but was not her first. So she was experienced, and she shares a lot of content online. So she mentioned something about day 3 emotions, and I thought, I know what that is. There's something, since then I've come across numerous people mentioning this, so I feel like it's necessary to share. I'm not a negative person. I'm like hyper positive. It even annoys many people. But on day 3, it's like you hit a wall mentally and emotionally. And I don't know if it's from dealing with the pain, dealing with the swelling, dealing with the lack of mobility, or what it is. But I feel like for most people, no matter how bad you wanted the surgery, you have a moment of regret. Now, whether that moment lasts 2 seconds or 5 hours or whatever, I think that's completely normal, because I was very emotional on day 3. And I saw these other people mentioning like day 3 emotions, like it's a whole thing. Okay. So be mindful. I'd say even just be prepared because I've seen it mentioned so much. I wish I would have known. But I feel like I dealt with it well. I allowed myself to feel those feelings of regret. I thought about it because obviously I'm laying there, can't do anything. I thought about it. I did a meditation to like relax and kind of ground myself. And I did some journaling to like just process my thoughts, because I'm really big on self-care and self-reflection and inner growth and whatever. And I knew I didn't like fully regret it, because I knew I'd wanted this surgery for almost 20 years. And so I kind of knew in that moment that this must just be like a normal process with your emotions, because I really don't regret it, but I'm feeling it a little bit in this moment, because I was really just frustrated with the having to lay around all the time. And I think that's what kind of made it sink in. Another thing, what I wish I would have known, which is so ironic that this is so like, how is this even like a normal thing? But day 5, itchiness. Day 5, your incisions all itch all day long. Could lead into day 6. Then it's over. It's like, you would think. So the itchiness is from the nerves. You know, they cut your skin open, they cut the nerves. So as your skin is trying to like, skin and under your skin, all that is trying to grow back together, those nerves are fusing back together. And when they begin to do that, it makes the skin really itchy. When I had my C-section with my second son, I remembered that from that. That's the only other surgery I've had, where the incision was just like really itchy. And I had been warned about that, and just to not scratch, just to rub it, whatever, because obviously it's an incision. So I knew that that's a normal part of the healing process. But what was weird is it was like a lot. I mean, it was a lot. I was like rubbing my legs, like I'm not, just like it was bad. And someone I saw on Instagram mentioned it, talked about actually taking Benadryl or something. I didn't do that. I just would rub it through, because I had my surgical tape on all of my bandages, and then I had on really tight leggings. So I had a few layers, and I would just rub, and it was okay. For me, it was like a day and a half maybe, but that's just really common. So just letting you know in advance to be prepared. That does happen, and it's totally normal. Okay, so another thing I wish I would have known, it's so handy to use a coffee cup on your side table wherever you're chillaxing and relaxing at, okay? Because you can put your little clippy on the handle. I used mine for trash. So whether that was tissue blowing my nose and I stuff it in my little coffee cup, or I had like a butterscotch candy or a sugar-free peppermint or whatever, and I would just like kind of, you know, put my trash in there, so I didn't have to worry about where was I going to put my trash? And there wasn't trash everywhere. And then, like, you know, twice a day, my husband would come through and he'd grab it and he'd go empty it and he'd bring it back whenever maybe he was bringing me something to drink or something. And it was really handy. So wanted to share that. Another thing is, I don't feel like I saw it mentioned anywhere that I can recall off the top of my head, but a lap desk is so freaking handy. I got one because I figured I would be working or doing fun things from my laptop while I was in the recliner in the living room. And I did have used it for that a ton. Super, super ton. Really love it. It's like the perfect height and everything just to sit on your legs. But I actually use it to eat a lot too. And so the one that I got and love, I got on Amazon, and my Amazon storefront is always linked down in the description below. But I did create a board for all the things that I bought for my surgery that have been helpful. Now, I have bought several things that I did not actually end up using, and I will be doing a different video on, like, specifically on the items I recommend for post-op, because I've seen a lot of videos on that, and that's kind of how I made my initial list of what to get. But then I ended up not using some of those things, like, at all. So my list will be different. But yeah, so if you want to check out the lap desk that I used, super cheap and affordable, and it was cute, it's white and gold, whatever. I really love it. It's got like a pencil holder, and it's got like a little ledge so that your laptop can't slide around. All right, so let's wrap up. So the last thing that I wish I would have known before my surgery to just help with recovery is that if you're having a tummy tuck, you might pee weird post-op. Now, I don't know if this is something that literally everyone experiences, but just very few talk about. But I had to Google this, because what happened was, as soon as I was post-op, of course, it's a struggle to sit down on the toilet. So I've got support and I'm holding on to things and the walls and different things like that, trying to lower myself onto the toilet. Because again, thigh incisions, tummy tuck incisions, I had drains, all that jazz. So as soon as I did and I peed, I could feel myself peeing on my butt. Like my pee was like going like this. Like, how is it? I still don't understand how it's even possible. And I just thought, okay, that's weird. Maybe I'm just setting weird. And then like it happened again, and then again, and then again, and then again. And it was like every time I felt like I was having to give myself a freaking bath with wipes, like all over my, like I just felt like I was just peeing everywhere. And I was like, this sucks. It was so annoying, like so annoying. And finally, after like a few days, I Googled, what would make you pee weird after a tummy tuck? Like, and I found this random lady on TikTok, and I don't even have TikTok. So like, I couldn't even, like, I just watched her video, and she was talking about the things they don't tell you after a tummy tuck. So cut to a couple days later, one of the ladies I follow on Instagram who had surgery around the same time as me, she had mentioned having this like pee spout being such a lifesaver. And I'm like, oh my God, why did nobody tell me about this? So it's like, I think they call it like a lady urinal. It's like a weird shaped funnel that a woman, you hold against yourself and you pee like in one spot, kind of like a dude. So you could pee standing up, you could pee whatever. So I think it's for numerous different things, but apparently using it for post-op for tummy tuck is pretty common. So, girl, I jumped on Amazon and ordered me one so fast. I didn't even read reviews. I was just like, I need that in my life immediately, please. And it has been a lifesaver. I have used it every single time, and it is so handy and clean and functional and whatever that it made me paranoid to go to the bathroom in public until like week 4, because obviously I'm not carrying it around with me, and I would only leave the house and run errands for maybe like hour or two at a time, and so most of the time I wouldn't need to go to the bathroom while I was out. But if I did, I would be like, oh my God, I don't have my funnel. What if I make this big old mess in a public bathroom? And it's just like, whatever. It was so annoying. So anyways, what I want to mention now is present day at filming this. I'm 54 days post-op, and I'm still using it, because what I've been doing is maybe once a week, I'll try to go to the bathroom like normal and be like, maybe this is just like a temporary weird thing, right? Nope. Still weird. Still pee weird. No clue why. I mentioned it to my doctor at my 4-week post-op, and he said, kind of like, yep, that's normal, it'll be fine kind of thing. Like, really acted blasé about it. It made me almost kind of think, should I have mentioned that? So anyway, so I keep trying. And so I'm thinking now it's kind of like, you know, I don't have drains in the way. I'm not, you know, so sore that I can't like sit down properly or anything like that. So I'm thinking my stuff has changed from the tummy tuck. My lady parts look different, feel different, all that jazz. Yeah. Confirmation from the husband. It all seems so different, which is, to me, it's a positive thing, but it's also kind of weird because it was not my reason for having the surgery, and I really didn't even think that that would happen. That could be like a whole other subject. But anyways, so I think it's just that I have to like, I have to experiment and find a different way, a new way to sit, to learn how to like aim again. I don't know, but as embarrassing as that is, and as awkward as it is for me to share it with you, I wanted you to be more prepared than I, and have that tip and buy yourself a dang funnel so you don't have to worry about it from day one. The one that I have used and am still using is listed on my Amazon storefront. Anyways, that's all the tips I can think of for today. I hope that you have yourself a wonderful day. And if you're finding this video much later, check out the first link in the description below, and I will list my playlist for all of my videos related to my plastic surgery in case there's more updates and more information, and you can just watch that video right after this one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. So I'm going to head out, and I will meet you guys down in the comments below. Wow.